One more, and we get another break. That's cool. And I also did not meet this person yet, so I'm going to say this name wrong, I'm sure. Lluis Font. He's from Spain. His 20-year career in the IT industry has included general management, consulting, and entrepreneurial experience with leading international firms and successful startup businesses. He's worked for 12 years in business and IT consulting at PricewaterhouseCoopers, enjoying a fast-paced and challenging environment. And he was able to do hands-on consulting work with leading companies around the globe, having a major impact on clients' bottom lines. He's actively participated in building cutting-edge procedures and tools that enable companies to systemize and improve the way they negotiate and manage their most critical business process. He holds a Certified Information Systems Auditor title from ISACA and a Master in Information Technology Management. And I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce your university. You can do that when you get here. So let's welcome Lluis.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much for the IT team over there. They have a very, very hard time trying to configure my Mac. It was a Mac with poltergeists, so it was horrible. Thank you very much, guys. Well, let's go. It's here. Perfect. So I define myself after 10 years in consulting like a serial entrepreneur. So right now it's my 4th company, all together with my Chinese partner, Didac Li. Yeah, he has a ponytail, it's true. Okay, and we are 2 crazy guys that decided that we can create Silicon Valley-like companies in Europe, and those companies are working. Let me say that you can create American startups based in Europe. In Germany, you have really good examples in the Netherlands, in France, in Italy. In all Europe, we can create really, really fast companies in the technology arena. Well, just a brief introduction about Zyncro. Zyncro is an enterprise social network for private companies, for institutions, that you can create your own flavors very, very easily. So right now, we have a good business in North America, also in Brazil. In Europe, we are in Germany, Spain, Italy, France, and the Netherlands. And in Asia, we started 1 year ago in Japan, and we are growing right there. And we're going to open in a few weeks in China. So let me tell you that it's a fast-growing business. All the countries in Europe, America, even China, they want to create kind of enterprise social networks or private social networks, which is something different. We're going to talk about it. In figures, we have 150,000 near corporate users for 500 corporations. We're talking, our clients are companies with more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 employees. We're not talking about the small companies here. And the pace of the product is crazy. We have 8 new versions per year. It's absolutely crazy. And we're talking about 2 things. And probably I introduced a concept that we didn't talk yet. OK, we're talking about enterprise social networks, which is the evolution, obviously. You know about social intranets, which is good. But there is a new trend. Private social networks. What's that? You can create your social network with your clients in order to engage them. Many companies, especially banks, insurance companies, are thinking about creating social networks all together with their clients. Why? Privacy. Are you going to trust Facebook all the information of your clients? I don't think so. Do you want to control this data? Then it's better to use your private social network in order to engage your clients. So it was 10 trends. When I say 10, I was very happy this day, because it was very, very tough to identify 10 trends. I had to say 8, 5, but this day, I don't know, I was drinking something the day that I was said, no, let's talk about 10 trends. It's gonna be 10 trends, but you will see that some of them are overlapping. Well, another crazy thing that I did when I was very young is my father was a doctor. So I studied 2 years at the same time, engineering, and trying to become a doctor in 2 universities, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So at the end, it was engineering. So then, but I learned things about psychology, about sociology, many things that I learned in the school. The first thing, which is a fact, is all of you have your social network, even if you don't have Facebook. When you grow up, you have your friends at the school, your grandparents, your family. Then when you enter in the university, then your network grow up a lot. Then you become parent, father, mother. Then your social network, okay, squeeze, because you don't have time, you have kids, you don't sleep at night, all these kind of things. Yeah, you are a parent. Okay. And then when the kids grow up, then you are free again, and you have time to have friends again, and you have your social network. What is happening? With Facebook, you have a tool. Then your social network expands. This is something that is a clear fact. So in your genes, you have at least 4 genes identified that are programming you as a social human being. If you lack one of these genes, you have one of these diseases. Maybe you know Asperger's syndrome or Thompson syndrome. If you don't have one of these genes, you have this syndrome. You are not social. You have a social disease. You are acting as a non-human being because we have been born social. Then what was happening in the past? All the tools that we have, technical tools, our intranets, our email, everything, were not social tools. So we were not socializing. So how many of you have pictures of your kids in your pocket or in your iPhone? You have it because you are social. You want to show the picture. So this is normal that you take a picture in your company and you show the rest of the people. It's normal that you do a wonderful PowerPoint presentation and you show it the rest of the company. We have a program, we have a software inside our brain in order to do it. Then, the first trend, forget about microblogging, it's old. The new trend is called activity stream, which is a little bit more. So it's not just pure text, message in a wall. We're talking about more information, PowerPoint presentation, business process, information about a workflow. We're going to see all the activities in one single stream. What is happening right now? Okay, you have LinkedIn, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have many, many tools, and you have a chaos of information. Probably many of you feel certain times of the week overload, so you have many inputs. You are not able to cope with everything. What we are doing with the activity stream, you are able to see everything in one activity stream. And then, keep in mind, you don't read web pages. You scan it visually. You are not reading a web page. You are scanning it visually. And you focus the attention in the most interesting thing for you. What you are doing with activity streams is, okay, here we have many information, but I think this Facebook post is interesting. I'm going to click and I'm going to read it. But with the activity stream, you are able to see tons of information very, very fast and just focus in the information which is important for you. By the way, here there is a new term called infoxication. we're intoxicated. Too many information. The second point, user experience versus features. What is happening? Well, in the past, the software was made by engineers. Okay, good. But we didn't train the engineers in user experience, usability, and design. Now the things are changing. But in the past, it wasn't like this. So we got software like this. Then we need to have, it must look good. It must be easy to see. This is a one business experience that we have. This is a senior citizen community. This is a bank, and they wanted to create a social community for senior citizens. Why? They want to increase their loyalty, they have time, and they have money. Good. No, it's okay. It was a wonderful marketing target. Then, first problem. They think, and they were right, that Facebook is too difficult. Facebook is too difficult. You think it's easy? No. You have many features over there. So what we did is we simplify the user interface. You have 4 buttons, very easy, very clean. Another point, if you are a senior citizen, even if you are not a senior citizen, you have problems with the font size. So you want to increase the font size. You want to see bigger letter. Then we change it. Then they thought that this community was going to be, okay, a small community. Well, in less than 3 months, we had 30,000 people in this community joining. And it was not easy to join. So you have to go to the bank, sign a non-disclosure agreement, a contract, you get a card, then you go to the website, and you are able to sign it. So, and we got 30,000 users here. And for me, the most amazing thing of this community is, okay, they were sharing, they were going to the movie theaters, whatever, all kind of activities. They're also using it for dating. Obviously, it's going to be mobile. Even though in many companies it's very difficult to provide a mobile access from a cell phone because of the security rules, which is fair, the usage that you are going to have in our enterprise social network, the collaboration is going to be mobile. Even using BlackBerry. You think BlackBerry is dead? No, not yet. So we're not yet. So we have thousands of users with the BlackBerry device. Because in many companies, maybe they have, I don't know, we have a Starbucks as a client, and they have, I don't know, 20,000 devices like this. So they're not going to throw it away. So they still have some use. But if there is a use of enterprise social networking, it's going to be mobile. Then, which is different? The tablet. Why is different the tablet? Because the user experience is much better than a cell phone, than a mobile. You can do things, and I'm going to show you a video now, that are amazing. Thank you. Well, this is Telefonica. We're talking about 300 million users in all Latin America. What we did, they have a tablet, and around 5,000 sales reps, they are carrying a tablet in order to visit the clients. What they are doing, showing all the corporate presentations, products, using the tablet. They are sharing experience among the countries. So if you have a wonderful experience and you did a wonderful presentation in Brazil, you can share it with a sales rep in Mexico. And this is working very, very well. So all the clients are asking, okay, yeah, I like it. I want to do the same with my clients. And we were able to solve certain problems. So sometimes when you visit a client, you don't have a good wireless connection, a good 3G connection. So in this application, you can pre-upload all the things that you want to show. And you don't have to do an online streaming for the video or the PowerPoints or whatever. You have pre-downloaded all the information. You can share everything wherever you are. And in the case that you, the tablet is stolen or something like that, we can block the application wherever it is. So it's working very, very well. And the user experience, it's excellent. So everybody loves it. So trying to browse the video, the microblogging just with one finger is something that is amazing. In addition, you can link this application with Flipboard and other things. I'm going to show you later if you want. The other things. So social BI, social budget, social collaborations. So a few weeks ago, I was visiting a client, and he told me that he completely changed the budgeting process. Now the budgeting process is social. So how do you do the budget? You send an Excel spreadsheet and say, give me the numbers. Now they're doing in a collaborative way. So they're commenting in the microblogging the figures, they are discussing, and now everybody, okay, let me say, I cannot say happy, but everybody understands better the budget process because they know how the process how the budget is made. Also in business intelligence, so when you have a report, when you have a dashboard, you have comments. What is the usual process when you have a dashboard? You send an email, and then you have a long chain of emails commenting the dashboard. Impossible to follow. This is impossible. In a microblogging, you are able to follow even if you are the last person entering in the conversation because you start to read from the bottom and you move up. And you are able to follow all the process in the budget, in a dashboard. So you start to move to social collaboration using very, very simple things. Number 6, social crowdsourcing, social support. We're talking about private social networks in an areas that I have never dreamed about. So this is a pilot that we have in a couple of countries. This is the healthcare, the national healthcare. What is happening in many countries? So when you have a small problem, in many cases and in many countries, you are going to visit your primary health care. Or in some cases, you call. What we created here is a social network between the patient, the nurses, and the doctors. Then we are creating a knowledge base that is able to solve simple problems. So imagine that you have you have a barn here, and this is a real case, what I'm gonna explain. So what you can do is take a picture with your cell phone, send it to the nurse, and say, okay, this is nothing, you can use this cream in order to solve the problem. But if they take a look at the picture and say, okay, I don't see the picture clear, or this looks awful, they say, please come in. So they are saving, in the business case, it shows they are saving 40% of the nurse's time and 30% of the doctor's time using this kind of social collaboration in the healthcare industry. In addition, they are thinking about using it in order to predict trends. Imagine that this week you have many questions about high fever, pain in the neck. What is happening next week? Probably you will have a flu epidemic, and you will need more doctors in the primary healthcare office. Obviously, and I think some people mention gamification. So the badges and this kind of dashboard are going to be useful. This is a dashboard that we have at Zyncro, which is a crazy thing, because we are controlling many things. It's not only, I think you asked for that, it's not only that, okay, if you are a spammer, you are not going to receive points here. Why? Because the algorithm is taking control that your PowerPoint presentations or your comments are liked or not. So if you are doing things that are adding value, you receive points and stars. If not, you don't receive it. And it's working very, very well. So you are not, as human beings, we don't want to have only one star, at least two. So then the day that you engage in one of these systems, people start to share a little bit more. And you have to find your own system. Okay, we tried this system in several companies, and it's working, but you can change it in the way that your company likes. This is a very good one, the social things. You are going to see in the coming future objects posting, tweeting. This is a real case that we have in Japan. You know that in Japan, they have 3 nuclear plants out of business because of the earthquake. And they want to create in the companies something is called energy saving awareness. Imagine that this is an intelligent building, because you can control everything from the TV. Imagine that you are able to tweet how much energy the building is spending, your office is spending, or your workplace is spending automatically. Then, if you are saving energy, everybody is going to see that you are saving energy. So you are able to create this kind of energy-saving awareness. So we're working in several research and development pilots in order to use something what is called open hardware, which are called Arduino motherboards, connected with sensors in order to tweet automatically power consumption, temperature, and everything. So we'll see things tweeting automatically in the coming future. In fact, this is a test, and this person is tweeting the power consumption in an automatic way. But if you visit certain hotels, you are going to see that the hotels are controlling and tweeting the consumption of energy. So all this wave that we have of clean tech and energy saving is going to be connected with Twitter, with your enterprise social network. So you are going to see objects tweeting information in an automatic way in your social network. And then you are going to have your enterprise social network connected with all your corporate software. So probably you will like to connect your SAP or your Sage software with your social network in order to let the salespeople know that the invoices are paid, or in order to know that a new employee had joined the company. And you also have your Office, or if you're using Office or your Google email, also connected with your social network. Or you want to have a plugin in Outlook in order to tweet it, because usually you work from your desktop and you don't want to change the system. or linking information which is outside the social network inside the social network. Why? Competitive intelligence. You want to learn about the competition, so you inject information automatically about the new updates of the blog of your main competitors. And this is what we call the social business aggregation. You are going to have information from any Microsoft, Google system, any ERP, any social network software, Jive, Yammer, Social Cast, Social Text, whatever, Chatter, inside the same system. We're finding companies, big companies, that they are using Social Cast, Chatter, Jive, all at the same time in different departments, and they don't want to change. They are happy with the tool that they have. But we need to get together the silos. They are separated. So you've been talking late in your presentation about information silos. So you need to get this information together. And having an aggregator can be the right solution for that. Even Sharepoint. Then imagine this is a real thing. So imagine that you have your email, but you can also post in your company, and you can have a post in Chatter, in a group in Chatter, in a group in Jive, in a group in Yammer, and you can also send information to a person by email. So you are going to post in different ways. Not only microblogging, activity stream, your email are going to be together. And be sure, email is not going to disappear. You're going to reduce it, but I don't think it's going to disappear. Then, at the end, what you are going to have is a social data warehouse. So all the information social of your company in one single place, and you will be able to search for. So imagine that you are able to get information from your ERP, your corporate social networks, external social networks. And then you are able to link this to one of your best clients. This is a client in North America, it's Wells Fargo, the bank. And they want to know all the aggregated information that they have about Safeway. So they have information in the CRM, which is Salesforce. They have information in the engaging system, which is Jive. They have information in the service view system, which is an internal system. It's like their ERP. So they can have one single database with all the information about the client. Then, in Zyncro, so we're also a small company, we don't want to fight. So okay, you know that the size is not, okay, probably the warrior is like this, and the monsters are much bigger. But anyways, we don't want to fight against these companies. Okay, we want to be their ally. And then this is our view. So we want to be a social business software aggregator. So we want to integrate social, transactional, cloud, or server information. So being social, be sure that works. We are social human beings. Thank you.
Are there questions?
This one might be a bit too detailed, but if you're saying you're firing off one post to multiple environments, Yammer, etc.,
yeah.
How do you handle the responses? Does it not fragment the discussion? Because the security is different for each of the different applications you're firing to, different groups, different. That's kind of been always the biggest challenge in my area as well, when dealing with the cloud, joint ventures, all this type of environment. Is there a specific way that you handle it, that you can aggregate it back into a centralized response?
Yeah, we aggregate by groups. So you have one group, which is the chatter group in the delivery area. You have a Jive group in the financial area. So then we aggregate the information by groups. Otherwise, I agree with you, it's very, very difficult. So you have to create groups related with the technology that you are using for microblogging. So you may have a Yammer group dedicated to the salespeople.
So basically, you take the responses and you re-aggregate them back based on your groups.
Yeah, but you are able to follow all the lines. So it means you are not missing any information.
Yeah. So one of the cases that we've always had that we're actually getting into right now is dealing with service companies. So we send off some request for a specific technology to 3 service companies. We want the responses, but we want the responses aggregated back to an internal discussion and not have them exposed to each other as well at the same time. So with this solution, we could do something in that effect.
Yeah,
okay.
That's it. And there is an important point. Using Zyncro, you can even use your email. So you can redirect, if you want, the information to your BlackBerry, answer from the BlackBerry, and you are going to see the information direct in the microblogging. Because my generation is still using email, and I think we're not going to change. So probably we're going to use less email. You know, the new generation is using 40–50% less email than mine. So email is still there. And in big companies, okay, you were not going to remove it. Even I think there is a French company, which is Atos, which is saying that we're not going to use email at all. I think this is okay. This is a good challenge, but it's not going to be true. More questions?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.